Hi, and welcome to our Alibaba 101 webinar. I appreciate you all logging in today to learn more about our platform and some tips and tricks on how to be a successful seller on alibaba.com. To give you a little bit of background on myself, I run the US account management team at Alibaba. I've been working at Alibaba for more than a year, and prior to my time at Alibaba, I worked at various US marketplaces like OpenSky and Living Social. My job at alibaba.com is to make sure that you are all successful, and my team here based in New York is here to help you figure out how to best navigate the platform and answer any questions that you guys may have. Today, we are going to review several critical features of your alibaba.com account and go over how to best use them to maximize your traffic and ultimately get more buyers. We are going to go over your MyAlibaba dashboard, how to add and edit products, how to respond to inquiries, how to find relevant requests for quotations or RFQs, how to set up a keyword advertising, and then we're going to do Q&A at the end. So any questions that you have, please just hold them till the end, and we'll make sure we have some time left over so we can answer them. And I really want to just mention that this session is to really go over the fundamentals and give you a solid foundation on how to use the platform. We're planning to host webinars monthly, so if you have any suggestions of things you guys want to learn more, at the end of the webinar, please feel free to let us know, your comments. I just wanted to start by providing you guys with a quick refresher on what alibaba.com is and what that means for you as a seller. Alibaba.com is Alibaba Group's B2B platform. We have over 10 million active buyers from over 200 different countries across a variety of industries. A good way to look at alibaba.com is to consider it like an online trade show. Think of your store as your booth and getting inquiries or messages as people coming up to your booth to meet you and learn more about your product. Just like working a trade show, there will be follow-up and conversations with prospective buyers after the show. It's important as a seller to not look at this platform as a B2C platform where you're working directly with consumers, but as a true B2B platform where you'll be working directly with other businesses, just like a trade show. So how do you start to utilize the platform in order to reach these buyers? To start, let's take a look at your MyAlibaba.com dashboard so that you can better understand the different tools that we have available. So in order to get to your MyAlibaba.com dashboard, you're going to go over to alibaba.com and you're going to sign in and you're going to hover over MyAlibaba. Anytime you sign on to alibaba.com, make sure you go here. So you're going to click in. Oh, 1 second. I got logged out. Go in here. Sorry, little technical glitch. We're going to log into a test account right now. Awesome. So now we're actually in. Sorry about that. But you're going to hover over MyAlibaba and you're going to click in here. So anytime you sign in, this is your dashboard, and you can see that right away, the dashboard is going to tell you different things that you need to do to complete. So I'm looking at my dashboard right away. I can see I need to add more products. It's right away telling me I don't have enough. It's super important to add more products. So it's telling me, this is what you need to do as your next step so you can drive more traffic. The dashboard is very, very intuitive. So it will give you different things right away that you need to sign in and do. So the next thing you can see here is it actually gives me a to-do list. So I have 44 unread messages. I have someone that sent me their business card. I have 2 things that I can go in and optimize. And I have 54 orders that are pending that I haven't gone and checked. So right away, I'm like, okay, I signed in. I need to make sure that I respond to these messages. I check out my optimization tools, and I make sure that I check in on these orders. As you scroll down on the page, you're going to see something that's a little bit funny because it says enrollment for Super September. Obviously, it's mid-November and the Super September promotion is over, and we do need to remove this, but I do think it is a helpful thing for all suppliers to review and look over because it's showing you, and we do monthly promotions where you can be featured, on the homepage as well as our US Pavilion, but you can see that it's giving you what you would have needed to do to be a part of this promotion. So you can see here, the basic requirement is 60 products. I only have 25, so I wouldn't have, qualified for this promotion. The product quality of the products needed to have a high quality of 6. I only have 1. The response rate needed to be 48%. I only have 0. And logging in, the basic requirement was logging in 12 times out of the 30 days. I'm actually okay here. I've signed in 20 times in the past 30 days. But all of these things, so like the total products, the product quality, the response rate, and the days that are logged in, all of these things are requirements that we use to be a part of promotions. And it also gives you tips on how to be a successful seller, because all of these 4 things are things that we look at in our algorithm. So the more that you do these things and have these things, the more likely you are to show up in organic search. So as you scroll down, and we're going to touch base on this in further detail, but you can see it's showing you right away your message center. And I just want to really call out here. You can see that my response rate is a 0, and it's showing me the platform average is a 66. So right away, I know that I'm not doing as well as other suppliers, and I got to make sure that I start responding to all these messages. And then if you scroll down further, this is a way you can quickly get to your recommended quotations or your RFQs. And again, we're going to touch base on this in a little bit during the webinar. On the left-hand side is your navigation bar. So you're going to use your navigation bar to get to anything you need to do on Alibaba. So I just want to walk you guys really quickly through this. So shop here is anytime you need to make an edit on your mini site, this is where you would go to do so. Products, this is where you will go to edit any of your products or to post new products. Communications, this is where your message center lives, as well as your RFQs. Analytics, we actually have a really great analytics tool that I definitely recommend people taking the time to look at, because it will really help you with your optimization. So you can see we have like a broad data overview. You can go in and look at your visitors demographic and how they're finding you by search. You can look at how your mini site's performing. You can look at how the products are performing or not performing. And then you can also do keyword analysis. So, some homework for after this webinar is to spend some time in here because it will really help you as you continue to grow and start to really use the platform to help you with optimization. Underneath analytics is contacts. So anytime someone sends you their business card or anytime you message with someone, you can store the contacts here. Campaigns, this is where your keyword advertising is. And again, we're going to go through that in a little bit. Orders, so if you have trade assurance, which is our service that allows you to enable transactions on the platform from US to US, you can have orders on the platform. And we're going to touch on this probably on another webinar in more detail, but this is where you would go to find those orders. Financial services, this is where you can just see a record of your transactions. And then our help center. So if you have any questions or you want to review, the policies and terms, IP, report anything, you would do this here. And also, if you wanted to apply for trade assurance, you would go to the help center and then authentications and verifications. Please note that right now, We're still working on the license for trade assurance to be enabled in Nevada and New York. I will keep everyone posted once we have that. But if you are not in Nevada and New York, you could apply for trade assurance here. And then the next thing I want to show you guys is the way that buyers actually find your products. And this is important because it goes to show how important it is to make sure that your products are the best quality. So using the example, if I'm on Alibaba and say that I am looking for red apples, I'm a buyer. When you click in here, I search by the keyword red apples. Right away, you can see in search, product pages are showing up. And right away, I can see on the right-hand side what the response rate is. So, you know, I can see if there's also any reviews, what the response rate is. So as a buyer, I can make an educated decision on whether or not I should contact a supplier. And because this is the most common way that buyers can find you, it's important that you have a significant amount of products. We typically recommend 50 plus products in order to increase your chances of showing up organically in search. By adding more than 50 products, you are 5 times more likely to receive more views than people who have less than 50 products. If you have a small catalog and are concerned about this, some tips are to create different variations for each product. For example, if you have one product, but it comes in 10 different colors, make each variation a different product. Or if you're a manufacturer and there are several different ways you can create a product, so you can make it so it has a different sleeve or something like that, make sure that you showcase all those variations, because the key is on Alibaba's platform, the more products, the better, because it's the more likely you're going to show up on search. And so the quickest way that you can add more products is through our bulk upload tool. And how you get there is you're going to go back to MyAlibaba and you're going to go back to click into MyAlibaba. Sorry that I moved the screen. And then you're going to hover over products and you're going to scroll down under My Products. You can see bulk upload. So what I would do is I would click in there. And the first thing it's going to call you to do is to download a category form. So make sure, one thing that's really important about Alibaba is that you make sure that your product is in the right category. So again, we're going to continue to use this red apple. I would go in, I would go to agriculture, I would go to fresh fruit, fresh apples, and I would download this CSV. So it's downloading, it's going to populate, and this is what you would need to fill out. It's incredibly, incredibly important that you fill out all of the fields, because the more information that you have, the higher product score you're going to have. Product scores range from a 0 to a 5. You want to get as close as possible to that 5, because you are are more likely to show up organically in search. 2, it's a great way, if you have a lot of information, the buyer can just, do a quick glance and decide to work with you. It enables trust with them. And then 3, it actually really helps you with your keyword advertising and showing up more there. And we're going to touch on that a little bit more with the keyword advertising, but I just wanted to make a note that it's really important to fill out all of this information. Once all this information is filled out, all you would need to do is upload here, agree, and then press submit. And you can see, since this is a test account, it'll say whether or not it failed. But within your account, if you do have a sync fail, it will give you actions on what you need to do to fix it. Because this is a test account, it doesn't have it. But note that it would tell you what you need to do, and all you would need to do is fix any changes and then re-upload, and you'd be able to quickly have added products. And if it's a success, you would just see sync success, and you would be good to go. So, once these products have been posted, it's important that you do go in and you start to manage the products and make sure, that you're consistently optimizing them to make sure that they are the best that they can be. And how you would do that is you would go back to products and go into manage products. And here you can see all of my products. So you can see the product name, you can see the price, you can see when it was last updated, and you can see what the product level is, right? So right away, I can see that this is a poor quality posting, and then I need to go in and fix it. So in order for me to go in and fix it, I would need to go into the edit. And I would need to make sure I started filling in more information. So one thing that I want to call out here on this particular product name is right now, it's really not doing anything for me. It's just showing a SKU. And the way that buyers find you, remember when we did that search exercise, the way they find you is through keywords. So one thing that you should do with your product names is make sure that they have a lot of different keywords in there. That way you can show up more in search. I would also recommend making sure that all of your product keywords are filled out as well. The more keywords that you have, the better. And you have up to 128 characters that you can use. So for example, I would probably do something like best selling delicious red apples. And I would make sure that I added keywords that were distinguished to what my product was. Again, this is just going to help you show up more in search. So as you go down, it's important that all of this information is filled out. You can see, we ask logistics information. We ask for product photos. I can see right away that I need to add additional photos. We can add a video, definitely recommend doing that as well. And then before you submit, it's really important because you can see right here on the right-hand side, you can do a test to see what your product information score is. So I can click this test here and I can see right away, this is nowhere near a 5. I need to go back and edit that information so I can get as close as possible to a 5. So it's just really important that you guys spend the time making sure that your products have as much information as possible so that you can be as successful as possible on the platform. And then once your products have been posted and you start showing up more in search, you're going to start to get inquiries. It's incredibly important that once you start to get inquiries that you respond within 24 hours of receiving the message. Response rate is something that buyers take very seriously, and they can see a response rate on both the product page, which I showed you guys earlier, as well as on your mini site. So at Alibaba, we want to make sure that buyers find great suppliers, so the response rate also plays a part of our algorithm. The higher response rate you have, the more likely you are to show up in search. So there's 2 places you can go to read your messages. So one is on the dashboard. So again, we can just go back always to MyAlibaba. And we can find our messages here. But we can also, as well as our average, but we can also go into communications and go into the message center. And so here is a message center, and you can see the messages that come in. You can also see who they come from, the country, as well as if it's a new inquiry or not. So right away, I can see I haven't responded to this message in 6 days and 6 hours. I know right away I have to go in there because that's going to affect my response rate. So I want to show you guys what an inquiry will look like. So let's click in here. And you can see you will get a lot of messages like this where someone's saying like, hey, I'm really interested in your product. I'd like some more details about it. it's really important that when you get those messages, you make sure that you respond to them. One, obviously right away, and then two, with as much detail as possible. That way they know that you're serious, and they know that you are a legitimate supplier. If you get a message, for example, from another supplier that's trying to, sell you on their products, instead of not responding to them, all you need to do is click into this report spam, and you can put it as an advertisement and just press OK. Or if you do find anything that you think is suspicious, you just would report it as spam instead of not responding. Again, I can't stress enough how important the response rate is. So it's just really, really important. If you get something that you think is spam, to just go in there and report it as is. And then the next thing I just want to point out to you guys, if you scroll over, you actually get some information on the buyer. So you can see, again, where they're from. You can get their company name. You also get their company email. And we have had a lot of suppliers be really successful by taking these email addresses that they get from their inquiries. And if they do any advertisement on their own, they'll send it out in an email blast, like as a lead. And instead of, having it happen on the platform, after they've had a couple touches on them, it's then converted to a sale. So definitely look at this as a way to get new leads. But another thing I just want to point out too is we give some more information about the buyers. So you can see, the total number of transactions they've done in the past 90 days, the amount of inquiries that they have sent, whether it's valid or spam, how many times they've logged in, if they've been blacklisted, if they've sent valid RFQs. All of these tips can lead you to knowing if this is a buyer you should be working with. So based off of this particular data, I would look and say, oh, wow, 703 valid inquiries, and they've logged in, every single day in the past 90 days. This is probably someone I want to work with. So it's just some things to look at so that, you feel more comfortable on the platform and the people that you are working with. And so that is the message center. And while you wait for inquiries to come to you, we also have a great tool called RFQs, which stands for Request for Quotation, where you have the ability to directly quote buyers. And this also lives in the communication tab. But buyers will post RFQs when they have sourcing requests and want to be able to reach a wide supplier base. The RFQ will show up to any supplier who is subscribed to a keyword that is associated with the RFQ. RFQs are a great opportunity as a seller for you to be proactive and reach out to buyers directly, instead of being reactive and waiting for inquiries to come to you. And with your membership, you get 20 RFQs a month. So in order to get to your RFQs, what you need to do is you can hover over the Communications tab. It also looks like a little text box, and you can go into RFQ Markets here. And again, it's also on the dashboard as well. But here I can see all the recommended RFQs for me. And so if I was a supplier and I was looking through this, and one thing you can see is you can see the title of what they're looking for, and then they mention how much they're looking for and where they're posting from, so where they're looking to ship it to. And so if I'm looking through this and I am like, oh, I have this tropical and subtropical fruit. This is perfect. I am definitely want to send this to the Netherlands. I would go in and click Quote Now. And what you can do is you can see more detailed information on the RFQs on the left-hand side. And then you can either fill out all this information manually, or really quickly, you can just import from a posted product. I'm going to use this broccoli as an example. and all my information is going to populate. So you can see, I'm giving the product details, an image pops up. The only thing that you need to fill out is the pricing for the quantities. And then you can also either offer a sample and also message the buyer directly. So here I would definitely take the time to really sell my company to the buyer so that they know, they're going to get several other RFQs. So it's important that you distinguish yourself as someone that's really professional, that has the capabilities to get them what you need. And so there's a couple other tips and tricks I just want to show you in regards to RFQs. So if you're back in your RFQ markets and you're looking through this and you're thinking to myself, these are not relevant to me. This, I definitely don't have this. What you can do is you can go into, please go to RFQ subscription. And you can subscribe to different keywords as well as categories. And when you subscribe to these keywords and categories, you'll start to get RFQs based on the keywords and categories. So for instance, using that red apple, I'm not seeing red apple RFQs. I could just add this here. And now I would start to get RFQs that were related to the red apple. And then the last thing, the last tip that I have for you here is you can also go in and actually search your RFQs. So if you don't feel like taking the time to go through all of these and you subscribe to 24 keywords and you just really want to see what's showing up if I put in red apples, which RFQs can I get? All you need to do is just put in red apple. And this is going to drill down and show me just RFQs that have the keyword red and apple in it. And you can actually further drill down here. So for instance, if I wanted to only see RFQs for red apples that were in North America, in the United States, I could click in on that. Or if it was really, really important for me that I only saw RFQs for red apples that came within the last 12 hours, I could drill down here. This search option is just a really, really, really good way for you to quickly find RFQs. And I definitely recommend you guys utilizing the 20 that you have a month. They come with your membership, and it's just, again, a really, really good way to be more proactive instead of reactive. And so the next thing I really want to go over is another tool that's only available to gold suppliers, and that's our keyword advertising tool. So in order to get to the keyword advertising, we're going to always, always, always go back to MyAlibaba. We're going to hover over campaigns, and we're going to click into keyword advertising. So keyword advertising is a general search marketing tactic that uses keywords to increase the probability that a listing is shown to targeted traffic. With the keyword advertising tool on alibaba.com, either you or the system will determine the keywords that are most relevant to your products. Then you bid to place ads in the search results for these keywords. A combination of that high product quality score that we went over earlier and your bid will determine where in the results your product will show up. And I just want to quickly show you guys where you would show up on your keyword advertising. So you can see here the 5 positions on the first page of the search result, the 10 positions on the right-hand side of the search result page, the bottom 4, and then the top 10 on the mobile page. Just gonna go back. On average, suppliers who use keyword advertising can expect to see a 30 to 50% increase in traffic. This increase in traffic also leads to 25% more inquiries compared to sellers who do not use keyword advertising. Keyword advertising is on a pay-per-click model, so you only pay when a buyer clicks in on your product. Today, I'm going to walk you through setting up an intelligent campaign, which we recommend all new suppliers to do, as it is the easiest to set up, and it's a great way to quickly and easily capture traffic that correlates with your product keywords. In an intelligent campaign, the system automatically matches your product to relevant search traffic without the need for you to research and select your own keywords. All you need to do is select the products you want to promote, choose a bid range, and set a daily budget, and the system does the rest. And then there are two ways you can do an intelligent campaign. One is an automatic, which is just going to pull all of your products in. And the second is a custom campaign where you can pick and choose which products you want into the campaign. So I'm going to show you guys how to do a custom campaign. So all you need to do is come in and you click custom campaign. And then you're going to create a new campaign. So right off the bat, you have to name your campaign. So I'm going to name it Sarah's Campaign 1. And the next thing it's going to guide you to do is put, oh, it looks like I've already done this. So Sarah's Campaign 2. The next thing you need to do is come up with a daily spend max. So Alibaba's system says that you can't spend anything less than 20. But just one thing to note, again, you are only charged on the click. So it doesn't mean that you're going to go through $20 a day necessarily. If you get $20 worth of clicks, you will, but it is only charged on the click. So I'm going to put in, because I want to start to get a little bit more impressions, I'm going to put in a daily spend max of $25 a day. And then the next thing you're going to do is set your bid limit. And Alibaba actually has a great little tool for you to use. So you can, using again that red apple, I can pick my industry. So I'm going to go into agriculture, fresh fruit, fresh apples. And at the bottom here, you can see it's telling me the average bid for fresh apples category is 90 cents. So now I have a benchmark of what I should be bidding per click. So I'm going to put in $1. And now it's also showing me the average of the fresh apples in the top 10 is $1. So now I know that by having this bid, I have the opportunity to potentially show up in the top 10. So next, I'm going to just click the next button. And what I can do here is now I can actually add products into my campaign. And I just want to show you guys, when you start out, you will see all of your products will have this Activate Now button. You only have to do this once, but all you need to do is just click in. It's telling me, are you sure you want to activate it for a promotion? You confirm to enable. And now this product is able to be added to my campaign. So it's just important that you do that once. I mean, you can see like all the ones above here, they have already been activated, so you can use them again. So it's just a one-time thing. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add products to my campaign by just clicking in these little check boxes. So I want all of these. And then I'm going to click the Add Products button. And then Next at the bottom. So it's pretty intuitive on what you need to do. And then this next section is our advanced settings. So this is not mandatory, but it's definitely something that we recommend because what we've done here at Alibaba is we've found valuable audience bases that you have the ability to bid additionally on to target. So for example, we've identified, people that have viewed your competitors, buyers that have viewed your competitors, or buyers that have a high purchase intention, or buyers that viewed your products. Think of this section as a retargeting tool and something you should use later on after you've done a lot of different campaigns, so you can retarget people that have viewed you. And then also high quality audience. So for instance, audience bases that have a high MOQ, if that's important to you, you could bid extra to get in front of that audience. Or buyers that respond quickly, if that's something that's super important to you, you could bid additionally on that there. And we've identified a lot of different audience bases for you to go in and bid more on. In order to do that, you can see the base is my bid range that I put in earlier is $1. Think of $1 being at 100%. If I wanted to double because a high MOQ is super important to me, I would put in 200%. And you can see on the right-hand side, it would show me what I'm willing to bid on that click. So just to play around, if I only wanted to, I didn't want to go to a double, but I definitely wanted to get in front of the high, a fast response buyer, I could put in something like 125, and now you can see that I'm bidding $1.25. So this is definitely a tool for you guys to utilize to get in front of specific valuable buyer bases. And we also have the ability to do that on regions. So for instance, if a United States buyer is so important to you and you really want to make sure that you're getting in front of a US buyer, I would go in and I would make sure that I put in 200%, and that way I'm bidding to get in front of that base. And then the last section here is a blocked word setting. So you could use this if, for instance, you do Google AdWords or other keyword types of advertising, and certain keywords don't work for you. You will add this into the blocked word settings, and that way our system wouldn't go in and bid on it. And so say I had, nothing that I needed to block, all I would need to do is press submit here. And now I've created my first campaign. And so one quick thing I just want to show you is you can go in here, view campaign details, and now you can see your campaign. Also, just like your dashboard, your keyword advertising has a navigation bar on the left-hand side. And something that you're gonna wanna utilize after you've set the campaign is you're gonna wanna utilize our analytics. So you would click in onto this graph. And here you're gonna have the ability to see different reports. One thing I would note is always make sure, because if you do an intelligent campaign, that you're showing intelligent campaign data. But here, what you can do, the account reports mean, you can see by day what your impressions are, what your clicks were, and what the cost is. So that way you can start to really manage how much you are spending. Product reports is also super helpful because you can see which products the system's bidding on, what the impressions are they're getting, what the clicks are, and what the cost is. And this can help show to you, oh, this is a product that's really successful, or oh, this isn't one, I'm getting a lot of impressions but no clicks. Maybe I have to go in and fix something. So these are all good reports for you to utilize to make sure that you're continuously optimizing. And then the last one I just really want to touch base on is the keyword reports. Again, you'd always go into Intelligent Campaign, but this is going to show you the keywords that you bid on and what the impressions and the clicks are, the click-through rate and the cost. And that way you can start to track which keywords are or are not working for you. So all of this data is, here at your fingertips. You also have the team here based in New York to help answer any questions that you guys may have. I'll be sending up a follow-up email just so you guys can make sure that you have my email address. We're always here to help. And that really concludes what I wanted to go over today. I wanted to leave, the next couple of minutes to really go over any questions that you might have. So please feel free now to post your questions and we can address them. The question was, will you be emailing a recorded copy of this? It is being recorded. We can definitely send that out. Hoping that everything recorded. We had some issues last time, but if it did, we will definitely send out a recorded copy of this. And then, so the next question is, what is the quickest way to delete RFQs that are not applicable? So what you can do, and I'll just quickly show you guys this. So if you go back to MyAlibaba, and we go into communications, RFQ markets, you can actually just click this X button right here, and you can shield why that you do not want it. So I would put, poor quality. I'm not interested in this. And then I could submit, and that would help so that you would not get RFQs that aren't relevant to you. Okay, so the next question is a great question. The US Pavilion feature, please explain more. So we do have, and I can pull this up for you guys. Sorry, hold on 1 second. I don't have the actual link readily available. I should pull that up. But so you guys know, we do have a US Pavilion that we can put, we have different events on. And I will definitely send a follow-up on the US Pavilion and where that is. It's not right up here in my search, but we'll definitely send that over to you shortly. And then the next question is, do you have a recommended number of RFQs that you suggest we should be answering on a daily, monthly basis to see results? I would say to make sure that you're responding to RFQs that are actually relevant to you, I wouldn't say go through the 20 just to go through the 20. Make sure that they are 20 that you feel like would be a good fit. But if you find, 20 that are a good fit, I would definitely recommend using all 20. But I don't think that there is a set number. I think it's really dependent on finding RFQs that you feel would be a really good fit for you and your business. And then the last question that we have are, what are the biggest promotions Alibaba does every year for alibaba.com? So we have one that was in September, and that's Super September. And then we have another one that's coming up in March, and it's called March Expo. And it's definitely something that we want you all to be participating in. So when we know, more about what the criteria is for that, make sure you guys are watching your emails to, make sure that so that you guys can be eligible for it. Sorry, we have 2 more questions. And do gold members have any budget already, or do we need to give you a credit card? I think that's in regards to the keyword advertising, and definitely something we can work on together and take a look at what your membership was, and I'll reach out to you individually on that. And then the last question, the actual last question, is the 20 RFQ limit a monthly limit? And yes, it is a monthly limit. You will get another 20 at the beginning of each month. Are there any other last questions? Okay, I don't see anything else coming in. I wanted to thank you all for taking the time to listen to me today. I hope that this was really helpful for you guys. As more questions come up, please don't hesitate to reach out. And again, we'll make sure that we get this recording over to you, and we will also be hosting more of these in the future. So we really hope you'll attend. Thanks again. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out.